Hello and welcome back once again to product placement. If I haven't fallen behind on editing again, you should be seeing this on Halloween day. If I have fallen behind, then you're probably seeing this somewhere in the first week of November. But either way, I'm staying mostly caught up now. Been working on some other projects for some of my other channels, getting some stuff caught up over there as well. But Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I want to stay focused on this. So yesterday we did what should have been Mountain Dew Voodoo this year, but they decided to stop doing Voodoo and just did the tie-in with Trolley. Will Voodoo come back next year, or will they just do another brand deal with another candy flavor? I don't know. That's to be determined next year. But today we are doing another Halloween themed item, and I put that in air quotes for a specific reason, which you will see in a moment. But first, obviously, we have to reset our colors here so you guys can see the product a lot better. So we're going to do that right now with a simple snap of our fingers. And there we have our normal lighting. Now let's move our candles and jack-o'-lantern aside. This will be the last time they appear this year. Now, oddly enough, I feel like I only just finished editing last year's Halloween videos, and now it's time to do this year's Halloween videos. But I have done an entire full year of video edits in between them. It just seems weird that I was that far behind on editing that I feel like it was just Halloween a couple months ago. But Halloween is my favorite holiday, so here we are again, and I don't mind it. Now, once again, I didn't get a chance to dress up this year. I did have a costume in mind, ran out of time on putting it together, and I needed to get these filmed so I didn't fall behind on editing again. So I had to forego the costume this year, and we're just going to go into the product. So what is today's product? What is a new flavor, I guess, from our friends over at Chips Ahoy. Although we don't really do much Chips Ahoy on this channel, do we? I don't know, have I ever done a Chips Ahoy? There have been a couple of Chips Ahoy flavors I wanted to try, but they didn't really tie in anything specific that would justify me doing a video on them. They were just kind of basic flavors that you could get from any other cookie. It was just that they were Chips Ahoy and I wanted to try their version of it. But much like Oreos, Chips Ahoys are ridiculously expensive, so I usually end up shying away from those. Additionally, something with the soft baked cookies tends to give me really bad indigestion. Don't know why. I used to eat Chips Ahoy soft bakes all the time as a kid, and then one year when I was in college, ate some Chips Ahoy soft baked cookies and had the worst indigestion of my life. And I said, yeah, I probably shouldn't do those soft bakes anymore. Tried the non-soft bakes. Those were fine. Didn't give me any problems. Anytime I tried soft bakes, same issue. So rather than being doubled over in pain for a whole day and a half because I wanted a soft baked cookie versus a hard cookie, I usually shied away from Chips Ahoy, but we're going back to try them today because this was a unique enough thing that I wanted to try it. Now, this also ties into another franchise. And yes, I said franchise, not another brand, because in case you didn't know, season 5 of Stranger Things is upon us. It has been several years since season 4 wrapped, and all the kids from the show are now in their mid-20s and are returning to the show for season 5 that is supposed to take place about 4 months after season 4. So that's going to be a very dramatic age up, or glow up as people call it, for all the characters in the show compared to how we last saw them. So anyway, what flavor did Chips Ahoy come up with to tie into Stranger Things? I don't know. And let me show you why. So here we have Chips Ahoy Stranger Things. Now, as you can see on the label, all it says is Chips Ahoy Stranger Things. I've searched this entire package under different levels of lighting in case my eyes are just really that bad, and it does not say anywhere on this what flavor this is supposed to be. However, it does show a photo of it, which is the only reason I picked it up, because they did have another Chips Ahoy Stranger Things package, which was just your normal chocolate chip cookies. So from what I can find online, everything says that this is supposed to be the upside down version of the chocolate chip cookie. So is it just going to taste like a chocolate chip cookie? It's just different colors? I don't know, but it doesn't look like it. So your normal Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookie has that sort of tannish brown kind of cookie color with the dark chunks of chocolate chips in it. This is a dark brown, almost black cookie, which makes me think that it's more of a fudge-based cookie, which are usually the ones that have the darker coloring. And it does not have chocolate chip chunks, but it has some type of red chunks in it, which form cracks in the cookie and makes it look like red is glowing out of the cracks. And then where it has the bite taken out of it on the photo, there is a what seems like red filling of some sort inside of the cookie. So is it a goo filled type of thing, or is it just where all the whatever that red stuff is has melted and pooled and congealed? I don't know. That's what we're here to find out. So I did not get the normal Chips Ahoy Stranger Things chocolate chip cookies because they're just chocolate chip cookies, but I did get these ones because I'm interested in trying them. Hopefully they don't just taste like a chocolate chip cookie. All right, so enough talking. Let's open these up and try. I don't even want to call them the upside down Chips Ahoy because it sounds like you're just turning your cookie upside down, and these are a completely different look. But anyway, let's rip these open and let's pull one out. And there you can see it hopefully on the camera. It is just a dark brown cookie, almost fudge-like. You can't really see the chips in it, but if you turn it over, there is one right there that's just a red something or other. Now, I'm thinking that in order to get the red, it's probably going to be white chocolate versus regular chocolate, because white chocolate you can actually add food coloring to change its color. So is this just going to be a white chocolate and fudge cookie? I don't know. Let's give it a smell test and see if it smells like a chocolate chip cookie or if it smells like something else. Here we go. Smells like a chocolate chip cookie, but there is definitely a little hint of fudge there. So definitely fudge based. Not really getting much in the way of any other smells. So let's go ahead and take a bite and see what we think. Cheers. Okay, so the cookie itself is definitely fudge based, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but there is definitely a red center in there, and there might even be little bits of chocolate chip, like I can kind of see a chocolate chip right here on the top. So there are chocolate chips in this as well, or at least fudge pieces, but the filling is not white chocolate. It's something crunchy, almost gritty. And at first I was thinking there might be nuts in this as well, like a white chocolate macadamia nut type of thing. But then as I chewed it up and all the flavors kind of incorporated and landed on my tongue, I got more of a flavor of cake frosting. Like, you know, when you take a cake, just like a regular white frosted cake, whatever, and you leave it out at room temperature a bit too long, and the frosting starts to dry out and gets a little hard and crusty, you can still eat it, but it has more of like that crunchy, gritty type of texture versus fresh, smooth cake icing. It kind of tastes like that, like the harder, dried out cake frosting, which would also explain how they were able to get such a good red coloring on it. Because I think if you would just dyed white chocolate red, you probably would have came out with something pink, and they wanted definitely more red. And regular white cake frosting is more adept at taking on the red color versus a white chocolate. So overall, not bad, just not what I was expecting. I was expecting like a white chocolate macadamia nut chocolate fudge cookie, where this is a chocolate fudge cookie filled with red cake frosting. And I don't know if the cake frosting and the fudge flavor of the cookie go well together. It's an interesting concept. It's something different, but honestly, I would have just rather you dye the white chocolate red and just make it a fudge and white chocolate cookie. I feel like it would have went better because the cake frosting flavor mixing with the fudge is kind of throwing me off a little bit. Like, I like the crunch that it gives to the cookie, but again, that could have been done just easily with adding nuts to it or something. But overall, the cake frosting is just a little bit too sweet for my liking. There might be a very faint hint of cherry in with the frosting as well, but I'm not 100% sure because the cake frosting is so sweet that it's overriding any other flavor. But as I'm sitting here kind of letting the flavors swirl on my tongue a little bit as I talk, I'm getting this little pop of, is that cherry? But I can't quite be sure. And honestly, speaking of cherry, I kind of wish that instead of the cake frosting center, if they were going to put a center in this at all, they could have just went with a cherry gel, like a chocolate cordial, and just had this be something like that, like a fudge, cookie, cherry cordial filling type of thing. Even that I think would have worked better than the cake frosting. The cake frosting is just too sweet, doesn't mix well with the fudge, and kind of overrides any other flavor that I would normally have enjoyed out of this. So do I like them? It's 50-50. They're edible. I'll finish the pack over time. Are they my favorite cookie? Absolutely not. Would I seek them out again if they came out every time we get a new season of Stranger Things? Or just as a random Halloween tie-in? Probably not. Unless they did something completely different with them, where it's said on the packaging these are different than last time, I would probably shy away from them. I don't think they were worth the money I ended up paying for them, but they won't go to waste. I'll be able to finish them. I'll just eat them in small doses, where like regular Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies, I could probably finish this pack in 2-3 days. This one, I'll probably finish it over the course of, let's say, a week. Maybe 2, depending on how much of a sweet tooth I have and if this is the only thing I have in the house. So there you have it. That is my review of Chips Ahoy Stranger Things, a cookie inspired by the Upside Down. Apparently the Upside Down tastes like cake frosting. And if that's the case, why would any of the kids ever want to leave? It tastes delicious, right? Or maybe it's too sweet for them too. All right, so not much else to say about these ones. We're going to wrap this up here. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the video. Links are in the description. Ring the bell. Make sure you get notifications every time I post new content. Happy Halloween. It has been another great year here. Halloween is kind of our anniversary of this channel, actually all my channels in general. So it's been a fun ride, and here's to another year. So until next time, cheers.